was a fool to ever leave your side. Me minus you was such a lonely ride. The breakup we had has made me lonesome and sad. I realize I love you 'cause I want you back. Hey, hey.
I spent the evening with the radio. Regret the moment that I let you go. Our quarrel was such a way of learning so much. I know now that I love you 'cause I need your touch. Hey, hey. Reunited and it feels so good. Reunited 'cause we understood. There's one perfect fit, and sugar, this one is it. We both are so excited 'cause we're reunited. Hey, hey.
Whoa ha ha ha, whoa ha ha, whoa ha. Whoa ha ha, whoa ha ha, whoa ha. Whoa ha ha, whoa ha, whoa ha ha, whoa ha, whoa ha. Whoa ha ha, whoa ha ha ha, whoa ha. Whoa ha ha ha, whoa ha.
That was nice.
Welcome back, friend. Welcome back.
Thank you, thank you. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Blackest Show About Nothing. Is Jaden XD. I am your host, XD, aka Miss Sophia. Home now.
Ah! I'm Jade, aka I can't say that.
Oh my gosh, man! Welcome back to the Blackest Show About Nothing. I have to say, hats off to you, friend, for holding it down. You know.
Thank you. Thank
and
you.
you know, on both shows, I know both Kia and I both lost our grandmothers literally a week apart.
You know I'm gonna hold y'all niggas down. You know, I think maybe I'll change my AKA this week. I'm Jade, aka Miss Millie, because I'll be driving the car. Shaky, but I'm
I've
driving
been
it.
nothing but nice to you
I've
people.
been nothing, aka I've been nothing but nice to you people. Woo!
Oh, but yeah, you held it down. Thanks, friend. You know,
Of course.
we don't take much breaks here on in this corral, although we have an announcement.
Oh,
But
sugar.
yeah.
Oh, honey.
Yeah, and also thank you to Mark, Tatiana, Janine, and Dustin, and Chris Rogers for holding it down.
Yes.
Well, you know, the doll was gone. I had to go take care of some family business. Also, thank you all to all your love and support. You guys been, you know, you've been, you know, the wings beneath my, you know, the wind beneath my wings. You know what I mean? So, you know. Or you guys have been the, you know, the wire in my bras, you know, support, you know.
I didn't know where this was going with the wings when you said the wings beneath my wings.
At first, I was gonna make a joke about like, I was gonna make a inclusive like period joke, but it just didn't work in my head. You know, my brain's a little foggy.
That's
so.
okay. You want? Can I share something with you? Speaking of wings, I went upstate this weekend. You know how niggas get busy when we go upstate. I had to go restock on my jams and shit. And I got a peach bourbon barbecue sauce. Nigga.
That sounds racist enough for me to eat.
Oh, yeah. It's like, yes. It's giving Paula Deen, but it's really delicious.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because they take the peaches from the farm and then bourbon, nigga, and the barbecue sauce. We smoked some wings on my homegirl smoker. Smoked them like slow and then cranked it up at the end to crisp them up. And then I tossed them in the peach bourbon barbecue sauce and threw together like some sides. I did have a moment because we made we made the peach bourbon barbecue smoked wings. I made some beans. I wanted to take a bunch of shit and just that we had because
This
she's
nigga's eating beans.
this nigga's eating beans with the mannequins.
I think about it every time.
It's like, or when Fly said the bitch came home from the club and wanted to cook up some live beats.
Yeah. Like,
What?
yeah.
But so we made that, and I made some beans with like chicken sausage, Italian sausage, and peppers and onions and jalapenos and cilantro and just a bunch of stuff. And then threw together a little rice and a watermelon salad and some grilled corn. And the kids are not gonna eat watermelon salad, so I chopped up chunks of watermelon, and then they don't want they love the beans, but the next day the beans were gone. Everybody downed them, and so we had chicken left over and watermelon. And Noah's like, I'm hungry, and I was like, okay, let me see what we have left from yesterday. And I was like, you want some chicken and watermelon? And I was like,
Who cares? Black 365.
It just comes to mind like for a hot second, and then it'd be like, fuck that if it ain't just chicken and watermelon. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. You're not gonna shame me. But I also, you do pause for like a second. Like y'all say pause at the wrong times. You're homophobic when really you need to be saying pause after like that.
Yeah.
Can I get some chicken and watermelon, please? Pause.
Pause.
Those are the proper moments.
What kind of drink would you like with that, sir? Red. Pause.
Pause. You have sarsaparilla tea?
Woo! Oh my gosh.
Problematic.
Well, I'm glad you had a wang dang doodle in the woods.
Thank you. I did. But you know what's so sad? We went to the waterfalls. We went to go hike to go see 2 waterfalls. It wasn't no water.
Yeah, man.
It was like literally like there were supposed to be falls, and it was like when your building cuts the water off and then it starts coming back on, and it's like the waterfall was just like sprinkling, nigga. It was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking.
Global warming, man. I keep telling y'all. That's what we talked about in the pre-show on Patreon. Like, the world is... Listen, we're paying for our war crimes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Mother Nature just has had it. She's just like, oh, girl.
Release the Kraken.
Enough. A pox, literally.
I wish it did something where like, never mind, I can't say that either. Damn, what's wrong with me this week?
Listen,
I can't say that either.
I'm back, and negativity is with me.
Because I was about to
More negative than ever. Ah! Howard Dean, yeah.
Negative, and the rest is drag.
Right. Yo soy muy negativo.
Your happiness is cosplay.
A shirt. That is a shirt.
New merch alert. Let's LARP happiness, nigga. Live action role play.
Oh my gosh.
What are you about to ask me?
LARPing is the nerdiest thing I have ever heard of. We were playing Life is Strange 2, and one of the characters like LARPing is a thing, and I was like, what the hell is LARPing? And so Chris Rogers had to tell me, and I was like, I know like there's level of like nerd shit that I'm like, I get it. Like like no one can convince me like Harry Potter is the nerdiest thing ever. And I don't care what you say. Like you all are coming to me at 45 years old talking about you're a Slytherin. I no.
That happened this week when my homegirl said, what's the creature's name? I know 35 of y'all are gonna tell me. She got this cute ass dog. She got this Basenji, and you know their ears are up. But every so often,
that's what Sade has. Yeah.
Oh, I love Basenjis. But every so often, their little ears go to the side. She's like, when their ears go to the side, we call them Dobies, DB. I don't know, but I was like, I don't get it. And she was like, you've never seen Harry Potter? I was like, no, never. But I had a moment of realization this weekend. All this time, I thought Noah was in a different activity than she was in. And we were all, I'm dead ass. The whole time she's going to this activity. I know the name of it. I know how much it costs. Like all that. But I didn't know. I thought it was something totally different than what it was. So this weekend, I said something about LARPing. And Noah's like, yeah, like Dungeons and Dragons. And I was like, what you know about Dungeons and Dragons?
Oh my God.
And Tristan's like, she plays Dungeons and Dragons. And I was like, since when, nigga? And he's like, when she goes to such and such and name the program, I was like, I thought that was an acting company. I thought that was an acting company. I thought she was like acting out scenes and shit. He was like, nah. He was like, they be like playing games and shit. And I was like, Noah, you play Dungeons and Dragons. She's like, I'm a dungeon master. And I'm dead ass. Hold on, I'm gonna call her. She's at her nana's. Hold on, I'm gonna call her. She dead ass is. Hold on, where's she at? Let me FaceTime her.
That is so funny. That is such a thing. Like, I don't know what my kid does. I just pay for it.
Yeah, I felt terrible for a hot second, and then I was like, my kid LARPs? Hey, girl.
Hey, Mommy.
How you doing?
I'm good.
You said what?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking me.
What did you say?
You are a dungeon master, you told me?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I don't remember. That was like a year ago.
But you was all into it the other day. Now all of a sudden you don't remember.
I never remember.
That's not good. You gotta remember stuff.
Wait, what is a dungeon master?
Yeah.
Well, when you're a dungeon master, you get all the levels, and you get different types of powers, different types of you get a lot of gold, a lot of diamonds,
She is
a lot
in
of
it.
jewels. You can make up your own game.
Oh wow. Okay.
Wow. She be LARPing.
All right.
You need to pass all the levels in order to be a dungeon.
So you passed all the levels. That's crazy. What do you do in the levels?
That sounds like Scientology.
You level up your magic.
You level up the magic. How you do that?
Well, it depends on what type of thing you are. You could be an elf. You could be a demon. You could be a ghost.
Oh, that's crazy.
There's a
You
ladder.
could be a wizard.
I'm all of those things in real life.
A demon?
Well, not a demon. I'm not. More like a hellion, but but I'll explain that to you later.
I was like a type of demon, but I only chose that because she looked pretty in the book.
That's
real.
That's honest. That's, she was white. Was she white?
Well, she wasn't red.
So she was white.
I didn't think I didn't think of her skin.
I'm just messing with you. I know you couldn't control it. All right, I'll leave you alone now. Yeah, my kid be LARPing, man.
That is so interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
LARPing.
Well, let's pay some bills.
Oh, yes.
As always, thank you for supporting us anywhere and everywhere that you do and choose to do so. You know, everybody tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend that you can find us anywhere you find our podcasts. Anywhere you can find your podcast, you know, we're huge in Malawi. So, you know, shout out to you all. And Kenya, and shout out to everybody, you know, and in the Philippines. Ha.
What?
You know, Kamusta Tagalog brothers and sisters.
Okay.
And siblings, you know.
Yes.
We out here.
I'm gonna come over there
World
and have
famous
me
podcasters.
I'm gonna have me some avocado and milk and sugar with y'all. Yeah, I know the vibes.
And pancit, which is delicious.
And adobo.
Also, where the true mess resides, come down to hell, down in the Patreon. You know, it's $9.99. Where
for now
we have, yeah. No, it's $9.99.
Yeah.
Until we introduce this super secret $99 tier.
Well, you may or may not get a picture of my areolas. They are macchiato colored.
And I'll just talk shit about your faves. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you know, Patreon has, you know, all of our TV reviews and music reviews, and also special episodes like coming to us like people who were praying for their downfall. Like, you know, that's something that. Did you see who was on my list?
No. Where did you send this? Let me see. Send it to me.
I'm gonna send it to you. Okay. But yeah, there's stuff like that.
Are you texting it to me?
I am. Also, join us on our YouTube channel. We released a bunch of free content from our Patreon
Oh my God.
vault.
Number one, why?
Oh, because she's racist. Judge Judy is racist.
She is?
Yes.
I mean, I'm not shocked, but when did that come out? Tell me.
Like in 2020, 2021. First of all, she was a racist marriage judge. She was horrible to black women in New York City. And then she was complacent in all like the racist and sexual allegations from the producer on her show.
Oh yeah,
girl.
I did not know that. Okay. Wait a minute. Is this? Oh, that's not who I was thinking. Child, I thought that said Tevin Campbell. Oh, I was about to be like, why? What did Tevin do to you?
No, Teddy Campbell. I'll say it out loud.
I mean, the majority of these check out. I'm not gonna hold you.
See, I'm telling you.
I don't. With this list, I don't feel like. I feel like this can go on the main show.
Maybe one or two. I can't, because, you know, people get sensitive.
Oh, my God. I just realized.
Sick of her.
Why him? I can't look at this anymore. Oh, God. Okay. All right. I'm going to create my list and then we'll figure out where this will live.
Yeah. But, yeah, join our YouTube channel. We released a bunch of free content up there. And we post cool stuff up on there.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, I forgot the YouTube. Yeah.
Everything can be found in the description box in our link tree. Click there and you can find everything. Also, be sure to leave us 5 stars and leave us a nice comment on wherever platform that you're listening to us. Make sure you click follow on those platforms and subscribe. Those help us out. I guess we should take. I do want to say this now. Prepare you all. We are going to take a little vacation, a summer break.
Vacación. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing bad. You know, we just, you know, Noah needs to go to like the beach and stuff with her mom.
Oh wait, no, hold on. She's not coming.
Oh, sorry. So Jade is. Oh, sorry.
No, nigga, I'm going to get church girl on the. I'm going to take
Oh,
pictures.
vacation.
Oh, I'm going on my tippy toes, nigga. There might, back shots, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm going
Yes,
swim
work.
swim up
Okay.
bars. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yes.
YKTV.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then either way, necessary.
Yeah.
Necessary.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
everybody needs a little summer break. But we won't be gone for too long because we have some really cool stuff for you coming
Yes.
soon. But as far as today's episode, with every season of Love After Lockup, we do the first episode on the main show.
You know the vibes. Oh, I have an announcement real quick before we. Also,
Oh yeah, you do.
check me out tomorrow, Makosa. If you haven't RSVP, jump on the link. You can hit the Makosa Cookout page on Instagram. You can hit my page, which will link you to the Makosa Cookout page. They're trying to instill as many safety precautions as possible. It is outdoors because I would not be there if it wasn't. And I'm going to have some delicious tostadas for you. So make sure you come through. Oh, yes, a jerk chicken tostada. Oh, it's going to be delicious.
Oh,
yeah.
God, that sounds so good. Oh my gosh, that sounds so good.
Something for the vegans, vegetarians, and the me's. So I just may come through. Come over to Makosa, support, hear the Beyonce album in the setting that it was supposed to be heard in.
Yes. Outside.
Exactly.
With masks on.
Right, with DJs and air.
Yes, air.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have anything else to announce. I think that's it.
Right.
We'll be back with, like I said, we're covering Life After Lockup, first episode this week. So stay tuned, and we'll be back after these messages. Hit it, Claude.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
And we're black. So, as tradition, like I said, every first episode of Love or Life After Lockup, we cover here on the main stage. So you can see this episode for the Frizz Nye and free on YouTube as well. So
Yes.
Patreon, you get everything. So everything is free. Freer than you and me. Okay.
Okay.
So where do you want to begin with this season?
Oh, God. Let's see. We can start at the we can go in order of how they came if you want. Because that's how I have them
I
listed.
don't know how.
Oh, well, okay, so we'll go.
I
Okay,
don't.
what do we call this girl? White Demon.
So,
The one who was with Lip. Lindsay.
I don't know that. Oh, Jim, totally outrageous.
Yes.
And little Daryl.
Yeah.
Okay,
Now Lil
and Lil
Daryl
Daryl.
swapped out.
Okay. I also call him something else now. I don't know if it's appropriate.
Probably not.
I call him Dub C. Or is really UC. Because he looks like an uncut penis. So it was just like uncut cock.
Which there's no shame to uncut gems.
No, it doesn't. He just doesn't. He just looks like an uncut penis.
He does look like one. Actually, less pleasing. But anyway, continue.
Yeah. So we heard rumors that they were going to be on, that they, remember Lil Daryl used to be in love with Nkoye. And she found love in Lady Love. And she got married and he got mad and whatever. And remember, Lindsay, she was in a relation with Grandpa Simpson.
Yes.
And which we find out what happened to her in this episode, which I found wild. So Lindsay is back in prison that we knew, and she's getting out, and she gets picked up by Ernest from Ernest Goes to Jail. So,
who kind of looked like somebody else in this episode as well.
Yeah. Yes. He looked like one of Cheerwine's friends.
He also looked like Brittany's realtor partner person.
Yes.
I was like,
yes,
is this
that too.
is this like Tyler Perry? Is he playing multiple roles, or what's happening?
Right. Right. So, she gets picked up by, Blaine, but he really looks like Ernest from all the Ernest movies. And so, she's been locked up for the last 18 months.
She's like, I'm thick.
Right. She thick now. They play it off to make it seem like that's her boo or whatever, but no, it's just her friend. She's not, her friend is like, am I taking to your mama's house? And she's like, nah, me and my mama are beefing. And reason why is because she's tired of her shit, It's inconsistency with Miley Grace, her daughter, and so she's trying to, set a boundary.
And she called this child while she was in school when she got out. She's like, I know you're in school. I'm just going to leave you a voicemail. I'm just going to leave you a voicemail. What happens if that child forgot to put her phone on vibrate? And you got her in all kinds of shit because you just had to call because you the one just got out of prison. Still selfish. Interrupting this child's life.
Selfish. They don't think. Nope. Thinking is not a thing for them. You know what I mean? Well, if that was the case, they wouldn't be in the situations that they're in, right? So she asked Ernest, or AKA Blaine, to, crash at his crib to parole there, essentially. She kind of asks him, like,
on the spot.
Hey, I ain't got no place to go, but on the spot. And she's like, he didn't say no. And we learned that Blaine ain't really like into her like that. Like, he used to run drugs for her.
Right. Right.
Which I kind of chuckled at. Yeah.
He's her former employee.
Yeah. And looking at him, like, I could see how.
Yeah. And then when she got that phone call, I was like, what kind of little queen pin shit is going on here?
Right. Gosh. So we learned why she went back. So remember the last time we saw her, she was carving random shit into Grandpa Simpson's desk, all because, I mean, he was being ridiculous too.
He was broke,
but he was broke, and she was also trying to move in her girlfriend.
She was trying to move her girlfriend's trailer into the driveway, right?
Right. So she wasn't slick either. So, because of all this, he had her arrested and put her back in prison. He had charged her with felony charges. He sent her like hate mail. He sent her penny a week. Talking about haha bitch.
Yo, that is some petty ass. That is some petty nigga shit. Haha, you're locked up.
I cackled. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
That is so evil. I hope at some point she finds a way to like leave his house the parking lot.
I hope she Destini's him is what I hope she and I'm not even on her side, but I hope she Destini's him.
Destini is like a herpes sore. Like she just
is
pop up.
A lesion. Do you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, like no Valtrex.
Cannot wait.
Get rid of her.
Cannot wait.
So, in the midst of this, she calls her new man, who happens to be Deontay, aka Little Daryl, aka King of the Snow Bunnies.
Oh, what's that nigga's name? What's that nigga's name? Polo the Don.
Yeah. When I tell you, he has never met a white girl that he did not want to bark up on, you
Yeah,
know?
no, he hasn't. He loves the snow bunny.
Right. So, apparently the story goes is that Lindsay hit him on the gram because she saw him on the TV.
Mm-hmm.
And, he was open. He was just like, oh, she's hot. She way prettier than Nicole. She really into me.
He loves them. What are
Um,
them bitches calling themselves? Former hot Cheeto girls. The stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. That's what he
I'm
likes.
sorry?
Oh, you've never heard of that?
Is this in tandem with vabbing?
It's just as atrocious. You should Google it right now. Oh, I get to put you onto something. Google former hot Cheeto girl and see if some videos pop up. Oh, I get to get you back.
I'm going to tell you already that I'm not going to have a positive response to this.
I didn't think you would. This is why I'm telling you about it.
How to be a hot Cheeto girl. Oh, there's...
Okay,
Oh.
hold on. Former hot Cheeto girls.
Hold on. But then...
So recently, there is this new trend of hot Cheeto girls that has been going on since around 2016, 17, and it just kept on going. It's basically where people act really ghetto no matter their race or anything like that. And usually they yell really loud in the morning at like 7 a.m. They eat the hot Cheetos, you know what I'm saying? They wear acrylics, lip gloss, say sis, whatever. Yeah, I already know what's up. I'm with the hot Cheeto crew.
But let me do it. Let me do it. Let me do it. Let me do it. No, I don't want it to be thick. You know, it's fine. Oh, you don't want it to be
Okay.
So what's happening is these little busted babies are creating these videos. They're calling themselves former hot Cheeto girls, and they're like, I used to be quote unquote ghetto, but now, I'm trying to get me a white man so that I can get on his pension and bring him home to my parents. They don't say that part, but you know what that means. And then they show it. It's like a TikTok thing, and then they show all these quote unquote old pictures. Notice how they said this trend developed in 2016 or 17 when we were grown. And they post all these former pictures of them doing shit like this, and peace signs, and their little crooked rap squats and whatever else they deem to be quote unquote ghetto. Notice how old girl said they say shit like sis. Because saying sis is apparently, they all act like 8th grade black girls, and then now they're saying they've evolved out of that. Is what they're. And they're calling themselves former hot Cheeto girls because they used to eat hot Cheetos in the morning before school. Because that, too, is synonymous with being ghetto.
Wow.
Right.
It
might be worse than vabbing, actually.
If I ever heard one,
So you see why I say he likes what these bitches call themselves, these hot Cheeto girls. That's what he likes.
Yeah. Former hot Cheeto girls.
They're not formers, though. Currents.
The FCC was right in trying to shut down TikTok.
The Earth is right in trying to purge. What do you mean?
I see how that this is a foreign government aided plan agenda to yeah, to just disrupt the status quo, to perpetuate racism in all its forms, to disrupt any type of progress that we have as a people.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest. it's kind of like, like how do you spot a racist? Like, do you play Call of Duty? Yes, there you go. It's kind of like that. So it's kind of like, oh, like I hate these videos, but I love the fact that there is a public record of you being a racist.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Like, I love that there is a on record, not to say that it will ever mean anything, because white people have been rolling back these diversity and inclusion things like we don't see it. Like, we see that it was cool, but now you're starting to roll it back because you're starting to not care. But just let us know, we're hip to it, white people. Don't you do it.
Yep.
So because that's racist in itself. But I agree. He likes former hot Cheeto girls. I can't believe that came out of my mouth.
Exactly.
So
I'm so happy.
he admits that he's jealous of Ernest. Ernest Saves Christmas because he had a horrible experience with 2 former inmates. And so, but that's a man thing. Like, oh, you're gonna live with another man. Blah, 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 blah.
But also,
like,
you have nothing to offer, and you the one keeps getting in relationships with inmates, but you want to use that as the base of your trauma. Please.
Then the episode takes a turn.
Yeah.
So it turns into like first 48, like. Basically, when she's talking to little Daryl, he's like, I'm going to be up there tomorrow, him and his Sentra. Mm-hmm. And so then, while she's out with, the next day, she goes to get a job. She gets set up for an interview. She's about to walk in, and she gets a call saying that one of her white niggas done got caught up. Mm-hmm. One of her wigger friends.
Yeah, her hot Cheeto voice comes out. TC got locked up. I was like, what happened here?
I cannot believe former hot Cheeto. And like the videos that I watched, right? Because I had to see before I figured out what a former one was. I had to discover what actually one.
So she's technically
what
not
was
what,
it,
right?
Right?
What they would consider a former. She's technically what they consider a current.
Yes, or like a cast of like Gypsy Sisters, like what I mean.
Exactly.
Like that's what she gives.
Yes.
Which could also be
that could be applied to another group in this episode.
Oh, which I yes. So so she puts on her former hot Cheeto girl voice on, LOL, and she like TC got locked up, and I'm thinking it's like somebody big and black, but no, he looks like the other guy from The Office who's also in like The Hangover.
Yeah. Or like Ben Affleck.
Yeah, like somebody rando white. And so she's like, I saved hella money from the pandemic and from drugs and shit, so I could bail my nigga out. She doesn't say nigga, but I'm sure she would have.
She definitely does.
But she couldn't go bond him out because she has felony charges still pending from Scott.
She also has state warrants. So outside of federal shit, she's got state shit. So if she gets like, she could go to jail as opposed to prison now. So she's like, I can't. And then another friend is like, well, I can't because I got this. So now but how she is the responsible one for, I don't know. I don't know if like TC sent her money while she was locked up or held shit down. I don't know what it was, but she feels
maybe Lindsay's the baby.
Maybe. Sounds like it.
Well, she decides that to say fuck it, and she's gonna go and bail old boy out
and not go to her job interview.
Dumb.
Yeah.
Dummy.
Or Din Diddy. Next up, we have Hot Pocket, and what did we call him?
Who's Hot Pocket?
Wife swap. The one who let him put it from her coochie to her booty and back again.
Oh, glamorous ladies of wrestling. Glow. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And White Apollo.
White Apollo.
Yes.
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 Uh-huh.
Yes. Communicable. That's what we should call them as a couple.
Or
Because they have, or staff.
Staph
what we should
infection.
call
That's
them.
what it is.
Yes. Staff.
So it starts
I
off
cannot
hilarious.
believe.
I can't either still. Like, this bitch thought she was having a real medical emergency, and it is literally
Like
only
she
because
had
you let
fucking
him.
ectopic pregnancy and shit, but only because she didn't flee.
You know when you play chess and you take the little pieces and you click, 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 and then you knock out a whole bunch of. That is what she was. That's what they was doing with his dick. It was moving from one space to another rapidly, and sharing secretions and fecal matter, in which it produced a health issue for her in the previous season. So she had to go to the ER and thought she was having some sort of, I don't know, emergency.
She had doo-doo in her vagina, and it
created an infection.
It caused a whole bunch of problems. Okay.
Can you? Never mind. So it starts off because remember in the end of the last season, he proposes to her in the cold with the babies wearing shorts when they, were giving them cups of coffee. They were burning their mouths and shit, and it was like 35 degrees outside. So
it was like a CPS case on camera.
I mean, it was so many strikes, and so it starts off with them in the house. Finally, the girls are defrosting after being dressed inappropriately in cold weather
and held hostage on the island of misfit toys.
And he goes, "What'd you all think about the proposal?" And these kids said it was boring.
I watched this shit at 3 in the morning. And I yelped. I was like, ah! Because it was.
They were disgusted. It was boring. I told you I hated it thin, nigga, and I still hate it now I'm in the warmth. I hate it.
I did not like it in a fox. I don't like it with a box.
I don't like it on a train. I don't like it on a plane. I don't want you to marry my mama, nigga. Woo, that was so funny to me. So,
same.
So, they swiftly ignore the kids because they ratioed him. They like, it was boring. He's like, shit, anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. He tweeted through it.
He tweeted right through it. Mo Jizzle. And so she goes into Bobby's room because Bobby did not know he was going to propose. Obviously, he did not tell her. So she's like, you got to break the news to my boss sister. Because it's very clear that Bobby wears the pants in this twin relationship.
Oh, clearly.
There's always a dominant one. Always.
The one that got the more nutrients is the one that had the most sense.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if they come out first or second, but y'all know what time it is. So she's dancing around it, and she's like, so what if, like, and she's like, yeah, I wouldn't be with it. I will object to the wedding.
And she did that all while she was folding all them clothes.
Yep.
She was like, no, don't get married.
Nope. No, I'm not with it. So here he comes because he can't give her no space. What y'all talking about?
No privacy.
None.
Like
I
the
can't have a
Kool-Aid
conversation
man.
with my
Like,
sister. We shared a womb. Get out of here. So he's like, what we talking about? What we talking about? And so he basically, condescendingly steps all over Bobby's toes by telling her he doesn't want to step on her toes and that she's a very essential part of the family. So much so that he wants to build a room in the garage for her. And
Mm-hmm.
Bobby calmly lets him know, um, I will not be going anywhere. I am not a possum. I'm not going to be living in the garage. And
Yeah.
let's get ready for this enemy ship, nigga, because it's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like she hates him with a passion.
Oh,
And
sincerely.
now it is her personal mission to make his life a living hell. And I
Absolutely.
totally support everything that Bobby's going to do,
Oh,
has
absolutely.
done, and will continue to do.
Absolutely.
Because he has such, like, all my notes for him, I remember him just distinctively last season. Like, he was so smug and such a dickhead the whole season. And then how he even treated when old girl got the infection or whatever. Like, it was just
You know how you feel about Terry Crews?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't like him.
I get them vibes too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I get them vibes.
Yeah. I'm not saying I
That's
agree
why I
with
get
you.
nervous every time. Every time I see him with
Yeah, I
in the
don't-
scene with them, I'm like, is somebody else there?
Yeah, is there somebody like watching what's
Is there a
happening?
mandated reporter on production?
Because I just don't like. I just think that
Kate?
Kate, you're not allowed to step outside the room. He must be monitored at all times. I just his vibes,
ma'am.
they off to me.
Yeah.
They off,
Same.
and the mother is aloof. They just have all of the accoutrements and ingredients for a very disastrous recipe.
Of a 2020 special.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Moving right along.
Let's move on to
Ambiguous Kevin.
Dilbert and Cheerwine.
Oh,
Oh,
that's also fine.
let's do Dilbert and Cheerwine.
Okay.
Last season I was on Cheerwine's side, and I was too until the very last part.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
That was a different trifle.
So, yeah, I should have expected the okie doke, but I thought, maybe it'd be a little different. So, she got a new confessional look. Like, she was in high drag.
Oh,
She
yeah.
added more to her beauty mark. So now it looked like a Chrissy Lampkin mole.
Yeah, they were. It was like a white coven.
Yeah. So while Cheerwine was in lockup, she went to construction school.
Mm-hmm.
So she decided to have a wind down, sand down with her friend.
Which she was standing still. I was confused. What was that piece?
I thought she was sanding like cabinetry.
I couldn't. I said, "What is this
I
material?"
I thought she was standing an island. I didn't listen. All I just saw, she was standing, and she was, and they all had like glasses of Arbor Mist. So I was like, "Oh, sand down, wind down.
Yeah.
That's different."
And then they did a pan to all three of them standing there to get a look at her, and they look like Hocus Pocus.
Yeah,
I was so,
they all had the noses.
they did.
So
The hair.
So, her homegirls are like, hey, I heard you're married. Have you been intimate? And she's like, no, we have not had sex yet. And there's a lot of pressure from him, but she's insecure about her body, which she told him before.
Mm-hmm.
And she also hasn't had sex sober before.
Right.
Which,
Valid.
that's a big deal.
Yeah.
But ultimately, she don't like him
She
like that.
don't want to fuck him. Like, let's just be honest here.
Right. And she only feels this way, like, she feels like she owes him for providing an out for her, you know? Like there's this clear path of having this newfound life from a life that she wants to get away from. And if she has to use this as a catalyst, this is how she sees it as a means to do so. So, you know, meanwhile, back in Kentucky,
Oh, nigga.
Dilbert is, you know, getting into his Sasha Fierce.
Yeah.
You know, she's about to perform, honey.
Okay.
Perform!
It was Dilbert and the Hellraisers.
Okay. Dilbert Van Halen was about to
Oh,
be
baby.
on, okay?
Okay, and let me tell you who was hype. Mayhem Miller. Mayhem Miller was
Okay.
so fucking...
I labeled them as clan member one, and clan member number 2.
I called them the Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah. Because clan member number 2 had opinions.
Okay.
Did you fuck her?
We're about to go to Portland and get fucked up. Like, I was like, whoa, everybody calm down before you have a heart attack. Like, so.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that reel with the audio is like, I'm on 2 hours of sleep, 4 cups of coffee, and a motherfucking dream. Let's go.
No, it reminded me of that Cat Williams stand-up where he was like, tonight we're getting fucked up. I was like, whoa, nigga.
Yeah.
You're going to have an aneurysm. So,
Yeah.
so I'm sorry.
on.
This next part had me down.
If it's the same part, I was cackling.
So they go on stage. It's time to perform. And he was like, I got my lady on stage. This nigga had his phone propped up with her on FaceTime.
Because I thought she was there. I was like, oh, she moved to Kentucky already.
No. She was on
Or he had a
FaceTime.
gig there.
No.
But no.
And you know she couldn't hear that music clearly. You know it didn't sound like nothing but a bunch of noise. And she looked fully unamused the entire time she was watching the performance. Whelmed.
Yeah, she was preparing for taco night.
She was well, exactly. Tacos and titties. Because in the background, we learn that she is watching this performance with her old nigga who was there when she got out of jail that he wanted to fight. And you know what makes it extra fucked up? What makes it extra fucked
That
up?
she was making tacos during the whole thing.
Oh no, because I'm like, I'm going to be cooking dinner while I watch this. Would you expect me to pretend I'm at the show? But the fact that you got your old nigga knowing he is, because when they panned to his face as he was watching this, it was like, huh. You got your old nigga watching your new nigga perform, knowing y'all are about to talk shit about it when it's over.
That's very future.
That's like pillow talking with another
That's
bitch
very-
in the bed.
That's so trifling. I was with you, Cheerwine. You know, Dilbert, he looked a little, you know, the calls coming from inside the house.
Yeah, and the something
you
about
know-
him don't sit right with me either. But in this,
You didn't have to do this either. You didn't have to marry him.
you
didn't
have
have
ample
to
opportunity to leave, to get away. Y'all not even
like,
together.
Now you just fucking with him. No. Now you marry legally for no reason.
La di da.
Let's take a break, and we'll be back with more Life After Lockup. Hit it, Claude.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
And we're black.
Talking life after lockup.
Yeah. Who do you want to go with next?
Let's do ambiguous Kevin and Tiffany. I don't know if we I don't know what we called her.
I don't know. She's also the queen of Trife Life.
Ooh, baby. But she's like kind of not, because everything is up front.
It's like Tiffany Amber Nelson, like nonsense.
The former cheerleader. She does give you real Saved by the Bell vibes gone bad. So we learned that she is now working in a Mexican restaurant,
Chevy's.
making her own money, paying her own bills. And they don't live together, but they are together and in a relationship, and now looking to add a third party. He has agreed to her request, if we remember from last season, to introduce another lady into the relationship because she wants both. So they go shopping for a girlfriend.
Which is weird because we realize that she only really wants a third so that she can have the third babysit Kevin.
Right.
Because she feels as though, like, well, if there's a third here, then there's the other girl that I can monitor.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sharp Entertainment for reminding us of what happened last season with the fight. Because, again, great. I wonder how many times they'll re-show it this season, because that was an amazing moment in television.
I mean, I would like to watch it a few times over, actually.
Yeah.
The way that young man
Because the fact
fell,
of, I want to know how long he stayed on the ground.
I do too, because
like,
he
I want the
went
raw footage.
down quick.
So, they have rules for this third that they, want to get. And they go as follows. Number 1, must be fine.
Yep.
And number 2, can't be broke.
Now, listen. I'm with you when you're right.
Yeah.
I'm with you
All
when
the
you're right.
ugly broke bitches to the back.
It wasn't even a fine. It was the broke. I was like, I felt that on a spiritual level. He goes, we ain't bringing nobody in here to be babysitting them and feeding them and shit. Like, no, nigga, they've got to be able to bring something to the table, to the mesa.
Okay.
So, I was like, boots. It's the only time I've agreed with y'all. Which also has me further questioning his ambiguity. I'm like, who were you raised around? Where's your daddy? Notice they never mentioned him. So, like, because that was a very valid and black point. Don't bring nobody. I'm not feeding no extra mouth.
I'm not feeding nobody else.
So, I just wonder.
So, but yeah, they get on the apps, they get on Tinder, they take pictures, they make group profiles and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Then, that turns him on. I was like, oh, he's so tiny.
He's
because
he
he
is
is
a
a little
tiny tot
nigga, like,
Christ.
for real.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. But while they all getting hot and heavy, white crazy Kayla starts blowing up his phone.
Which, I don't
this
like
is all his fault.
Yeah, I don't like bitches like Kayla because hot Cheeto girl. But because I know
Oh, yeah, she did say
said
nigga
in the first episode. I was like, at least Cabbage Patch Doll waited until like the second season or some shit. Like at least she waited till the second season. You did this shit out the gate.
Right.
But
Right. Again, public record
Yeah.
of letting us know who the fuck you are.
on the list. But she's not so crazy because she's calling and calling and calling and calling and calling and calling and texting and threatening this bitch, and I'm gonna show up at your house and I'm gonna beat this bitch ass and so forth and so on. And then he goes and he gives Tiffany Amber Thiessen a key to the house, like, now we've reached the next level, trust, yada yada yada. But when he leaves, he calls her back because of course that's what niggas do. And
Absolutely.
the way she was speaking was not of a person who was in a formal relationship. It's a person who you are involved with now. And she
That
was
you
like,
are currently
"Oh, baby."
boning.
And she said, I seen you and that bitch on Tinder. What the fuck is going on? And he's like, no, you didn't. Which was the most nigga ass thing I have seen probably thus far on this show.
Because she sent him a screen cap of the Tinder profile of him and old girl, and then
That
told
wasn't
her, "You didn't see me on. That wasn't me."
I don't know what you're talking about. Like, just the classic lines. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you're talking about. That wasn't me. But clearly, I'm looking at the tattoo on your elbow, nigga. Like, I'm looking at your eyebrow. I'm looking at the mole that's underneath your right eye. Like, I'm looking at the birthmark on your neck. I am watching you read your social security number on a video attached to Tinder. It is you.
This ain't a long time ago in '94. No, like this is now. This is you,
now.
nigga. Damn.
And he tells us, I told her that me and Tiffany is friends. That was a lie. And I ain't telling her shit. Yeah, I'm lying.
Yeah, he missed the line because then right after that, Tiffany Amber Nawson is going through his stuff, and she finds panties, vagina panties in his drawers that are hers.
Yeah, no breast bras, just vagina panties.
No breast bras, just vagina panties. Leopard granny vagina panties.
Yeah,
which they also could have been his. The only problem is they were too big.
I wear a size 4. I said the same thing. I said, well, what if they his panties? Like, girl, he might be trying to introduce you that he's into some shit. Y'all can get kinky.
Yeah, because it looks like he'd be into that if there's just another woman involved. He'd just be into it.
Why not?
But he's just no. Those are way too big for him.
Yeah, they were large. So for him. So that's where it left off with her discovering the drawers in his drawers. He also has that lacquer nigga furniture. You know what I'm saying? That black dresser
and satin drapes.
Yep.
Red satin drapes. Yeah, niggas love lacquer.
They love lacquer, and they love black lacquer, even though it pills.
They like to see themselves in the shit they bought.
They love living like it's 1992.
Boomerang it literally was the thing that set us up as a people.
Yeah, nigga aesthetics. Everybody want to be Marcus. When you just Kevin.
Anywho, we have 2 more to go. Do you want to go with the staged storyline of the season, or do you want to end with Destiny?
Let's go with the stage. Let's go to the OGs for a second.
Okay, great. So, Brittany, LC, MSW, Realtor, TM, a registered trademark, and Marcelino and Barnes Injury Attorneys, 100-888-8888. Do. So they got hella kids, man. More than one is hella.
Yeah.
Yep. He's got hips like one. And so he, and, Brittany has left social work behind, has moved on to real estate.
Yes.
I was like, wow, I did the exact same thing. So Brittany better follow my career path.
She did.
Word.
She said, I got robbed by one
podcast.
meth head too many. I'm done with this.
Okay.
She's like, fuck prison reform. Okay, I'm about to go make money. Where's the commission checks?
Okay, I got kids, nigga. Non-profit don't pay. Literally. Because let me tell you something. They don't.
What was my first major? Sociology and human services, nigga. Have you ever seen me service a human?
Real. I mean, that was my degree, and listen, I had 2 jobs.
I'm not a part of the problem.
My man got 2
I'm just not a
jobs.
part of the solution.
Yeah, man. So, you know, we were reminded that last season, that it ended with Amanda,
Which I
the
forgot
source of contention.
about.
Yeah, and Brittany and Marcelino all had a menage a boogie.
Mm-hmm. Baby teeth.
Yeah, and shit has been different since with Marcelino.
Even though,
He's been distant.
Now, granted, we did watch Brittany pressure him into a toit for seasons.
Since the first season of the show.
4 seasons. And she finally got her way. And I have to say, maybe because he was drunk and ready, and sometimes shit gotta sit with you for a little while before you realize, like, I didn't like that. But then also there is a point where you're like, I've got to take some personal responsibility for the role I played in this. I said yes. I could have continued to say no.
Yeah. Or he could have stopped in the middle and said no, but niggas and consent.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think he was in a large space of trying to make his wife happy because of all the traumatic things that happened.
Listen, it's clear there was a lot of pressure there. It was pressure for time. We watched the pressure happen and we watched it build up. Because even when the pressure was revisited, we had thought it had dissipated until these bitches was playing footsie in the pool.
Yeah. I definitely thought it went away like kids ago.
Yeah.
2 kids ago.
3 jobs ago, because Brittany's had.
Yeah.
She's only
houses.
When that bitch said, "I have been out of prison for 4 years." I was like, "That's it."
We've been with them since 2017.
But 4 years. There's been so many careers and moves and changes and shifts.
Yeah, kids. 2 kids in 4 years.
Last season we watched.
Listen, moms.
Right. Oh my God, I forgot about her. Grandmas.
Cindy.
Like Alaska.
The black sister you still won't tell us about.
Judy fucking Winslow, nigga. We have never seen that kid again.
No. So like, yeah, so much has happened in the 5 years we've been watching this show.
Yeah, it has.
Because we've been watching this since 2017, and here we are. So we see that Marcelino is texting other women folk on the gram.
Oh, was that Instagram? I thought it was text messages. Regardless,
No,
it
that
was
was
messages.
the gram.
And he's feeling really unappreciated because Brittany is working and building her new career, and wearing blazers and shit, and he's at home with the kids and his hips. Making smoothies
and going to play
and shit.
poker.
Yeah.
Which I gotta be honest, is that like, why can't you go back to work?
Why is this your only avenue of making money?
Right, like, are you like, because I know he's a veteran, so I'm like, is this like, you don't necessarily need to go to work and like you a retired vet and you get a check or something, you know what I mean? Like, do you get residuals from the Missy Elliott videos? Like, Marlo, how you get your money up, you know what I mean? And I know it's not just off of Matt Sharp checks,
No, not at all.
And I don't seem like you're the best poker player, because last season you was, going through it. So,
but I think they bought a new car with their winnings, because when Mama was driving to her first, so she has her first luxury real estate showing, in which she lets us know like, this sell alone will make me $75K off commission You know what I'm saying? This is important for me, so forth and so on. And there was nothing, but he kept talking about 3 o'clock. I got something to do, 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And so she's like, all right, bet. They're operating as co-parents and roommates. You know what I'm saying? She's like, since the threesome thing, shit has changed. And she gets to this staged house with these actors.
Yeah.
Somebody that they picked up off some fitness videos.
Yeah, they got her business partner who looked like one of the guys from Arrow on CW.
Yep.
And then they got like these other people from like Amazon Fitness.
Yeah, or like
to come
they
on.
were in a Bowflex commercial.
Yeah. Beach body on demand.
P90X.
Yeah.
So she's showing, quote unquote, DK, the house to these clients with this paid actor who is supposed to be her real estate partner. As she's driving her red Mercedes that maybe came up off one of Marcelino's good games. And you know, they have a plan for 3 o'clock. Does he call her and say, I'm on the way with the kids?
No.
Marcelino shows up to the real estate appointment at 3 o'clock on the nose. I had a feeling based off his attitude that it was actually 2:58. And he drops the kids off in the pickup truck, takes the Mercedes keys, and proceeds to go on about his business, even though she is legitimately working right now. He couldn't wait 15 more minutes for her to finish showing the house. He had to go right now. And so her fake real estate appointment was canceled, and she had to go take her kids home in the pickup truck.
Yeah. Which I was like, this is so staged. First of all, Marcelino would never do that. Like, he would never do that if it's in regards to
we know
money.
he's machismo, but that's really some dickhead ass shit. Now, if he really has been a dickhead all this time since the throuple happened, then maybe that is who he has developed into. But I just didn't fully buy, which was a little disappointing because I'm like, you know, there are a couple that we've watched with real struggles and like been rooting for her success as she's gotten out, because she's really been very grounded in the various spaces that she's been in. Even when she fucks up, she takes accountability. Like, we like Brittany. We, you know, if for all intents and purposes.
Yeah, I like both of them.
Yeah, I don't even mind him because he dotes on his family. He's good to his family. He loves his wife. He loves his kids. And it just felt like they really did have to put on to create this narrative. Y'all been good for too many seasons, so now we got to bring some chaos and shit into it. So they have him pulling up to a residential home in his Mercedes, parking on the street, alluding to the fact that he's going to visit somebody. But the last time they did that, he was just going to get some poker advice. So we'll see what happens.
Right.
Because even the messages were like, hey, how you doing? What's going on?
Yeah, they weren't
like, come bust this pussy
salacious
open.
enough.
Nah.
Yeah, no, because we've seen those type of messages on this show.
Yeah.
All right. Whew. And last but definitely not least,
baby.
So, Evil and I should just call him 80s because him and Fatherhood do not fuck with one another.
Oh,
so,
no, they do not. Bubblegum Tiaras and Strawberry Shortcake.
Bubblegum. Oh, dumb as hell, Strawberry Shortcake.
Oh.
Man. So they're getting ready. They're getting ready for the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
She's 5 months pregnant.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they're at some sort of event space with a bunch of plastic flowers and church chairs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The ones from the 70s, 80s. You know, the ones that look like purses.
Mm-hmm.
So they're walking with these white ladies with clipboards, because, you know, that's what they do. And so they're talking about the wedding and what's happening, and they recap, and they ask about who's coming to the wedding, and some of his kids aren't coming because Kelly, the child's mother of
Yeah.
all 6 of his children,
All 6,
said no.
including a grown one. So like this is a history.
Yeah. Right. So, as they're out with these people, Kelly keeps calling, and this is the same scenario that happened with him in Destiny, where Sarah doesn't like that Kelly calls so often.
Yeah.
And she's like, they're like, I don't care, even if it is about your kids, like it just feels like she's using it as a manipulation tactic, and
She says, "Why aren't your kids calling you?" And I thought to myself, because they're 4.
right, or they probably don't have his number.
Probably that. More so that he changed his number, and it's like more like a hootis every time they hit him up. So, and it was so interesting that he basically said, I'm just really excited and ready for the new baby to be here, so I can completely forget the other 6 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody thinks that, I have a second chance on a new life with a whole new family. Niggas love starting over.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, right. So, I agreed, though. He does need to answer the phone, though. Like, don't let it just do.
What if one of the kids broke their arm?
Yes.
If you
Right. But also, I can see why. Granted, Kelly has every right to do that because she's the mother and whatever, but she also is probably using it as a
no, absolutely.
fuck you.
But
nigga
that's why you
tactic.
answer the first time, find out if it's an emergency, and then if she keeps blowing you up, then at this point it's like, all right, you ODing. But you won't even do that. You don't even answer the first time. You don't care if it could be the kids or not.
No.
And we find out that it's not an emergency because we find out a little bit more of Kelly's personality from another person's perspective coming soon. So Strawberry Shortcake and him are, like you said, in this community center planning their wedding. And he
Down at Harry's Hofbräu.
Yeah. And they're about to go and meet his sister and his son, his oldest, who's like 30. Strawberry Shortcake is 28. And so they go to a Ramada Inn or a Holiday Inn Express.
It was a Holiday Inn Express.
And they have a meeting in the business center.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the most awkward meeting because he did not tell his son nor his sister nor his nephew who he was meeting that ahead of time he was getting married and about to be a new father. Again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And her belly is
this
already
is a history.
popped.
History of not telling people things.
And we find out that it is actual history outside of what we have seen because when she got there, clearly pregnant, his sister goes, "She's very small and very pregnant."
Mm-hmm.
She goes, and
I was trying to get a family resemblance, but I couldn't catch one.
they both have long faces, but I think he has a Mexican parent and she doesn't. Maybe they share a mama or something.
That could be it. That could be it.
Mm-hmm. That's what I got because I was like, something is different here. And nobody is like fully shocked. It's just awkward. The son is giving the skeptical eyebrows the whole time, which is his twin, by the way.
It was so awkward. It was like 30 seconds of dead silence on TV, which is like an hour and a half of silence on television.
Yep.
And it was awkward. His sister, who looked like Natty from Gypsy Sisters, was like, I know she was pregnant. She's like, "Oh, so you're having a baby?" They're like, "Are you having a boy or girl?" And they're going to have a gender reveal via their wedding cake.
Yes, they're going to have the M&Ms come out and whatever born sex the baby is.
I hope it's yellow.
I
Anyway.
was going to say green.
Yeah. Stop having gender reveals. Okay.
They're so fucking stupid. So his phone is blowing up again when they go to the tuxedo shop. Finally, they get a little bit past the awkwardness. Thanks to Strawberry Shortcake, even though she's stupid, she can carry a conversation because he clearly can. He didn't even say she was pregnant.
She thrives in awkwardness.
Yeah. So they go to try on dresses and tuxedos, and the son is going to be the best man, and all that jazz. And the son has admitted, I like her. I think she's nice. I think she's cool. He was like, she seems normal. My mom's not going to like that because she's dramatic. And I was like, okay.
He admitted that.
It hits a little different when it comes from the child. But also, that does not excuse Bubblegum Thierrez from his atrocious non-fatherly behavior.
Right.
So, his phone is blowing up, and we think that it is Kelly again. Even the son thinks it's his mother. But we find out that it is not.
Oh, the bitch is back.
When I tell you her tone every time she calls is the funniest fucking shit to me.
I do want to say that everybody thinks this is a shotgun wedding, and I chuckled every moment. They're like, so
are you getting married because you're pregnant, or
like, are you getting married because you have to?
Yeah. No, I want to. Just wondering. Wasn't sure.
They're like, just checking.
And the sister tells us too, this is typical Sean behavior. This is how he rolls. Like, I'm not surprised we're just learning about this baby in this wedding right now.
Yeah.
He been like this all his life. But Destiny calls, baby. And when I tell you she be ready to bitch that nigga out at the drop of a dime.
Yeah. And he falls in line.
Well, he tried to have some little balls this time, but they were little. She's like, I need money. And he's like, girl, I told you I was done with you, girl.
I'm trying to move on.
I've given you everything that I can give you. I don't have anything left for you. And Destiny is in a pickup truck on the phone, pregnant. Visibly, honey. Like, more than
like
Strawberry
she
Shortcake.
Is pregnant.
Yeah, we talking 7-8 months pregnant, I think.
Right. Now, remember, she had got married to some other nigga after him.
Right.
But, it could be his.
It could be his, but it
This'll
would be actually funnier.
Number 9.
It would be funnier to me if it was not his baby and she's still demanding money from him.
Yeah.
Because my first thought was not, oh, that's his baby. It wasn't like shock like that. It was like, oh shit, she's pregnant and this bitch might be demanding money, and this is not even his.
That's funny.
That is comedy, nigga. That is comedy. So we gonna find out.
Oh my goodness.
Actually, let me look.
We're
They can't put. I guess they
out.
didn't put it on the social medias because.
I would have saw.
So that was it. That was Life After Lockup. Opening episode.
Yeah, that was opening episode. For all subsequent episodes, you'll be able to catch on our Patreon, where a true mess lives. But yeah, until next time, my friends, we will see you all later.
Bye.